What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining the Tully broadcast. So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple of the big news that's been going on. Sadly, only really good news I have for you guys is bad news. We know who the winner is of the NHL playoffs. I'm also going to mention where I'm at right now. We also are going to go into things about the UFC 264, which is coming up on Saturday night. That's going to be awesome. Cannot wait for that. And then also too, only real big news I really had for like the NFL was Nikhil Harry, so we'll go into that. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. So let's kick it off with explaining what's going on. So right now I'm not in my studio because I usually record the videos on Friday night when I get back because right now I have a job upstate New York, and after that I come down every single Friday. I come down for the week to work my second job, which is working at like a restaurant and stuff like that. So I do that every Friday, but every single Friday night I record the video and I, edit it into Saturday morning, stuff like that, and then I post it on Saturday at 5:30, like they've always been. So I want to continue to do that and continue with the regimen of always having a video up at 5:30 on Saturday, no matter what. Sorry about last week. I'll explain that too. But so then in order for me to do that, I had to record because this weekend I'm going to New Jersey to visit my friends from New Jersey and stuff like that. So I'm going down there for the shore, gonna have some fun, little bit on the beach, hang out, party a little bit, enjoy myself. So I'm gonna be doing that on Saturday and Friday and stuff like that. So I can't record in my studio. So I decided I'm recording this video as we speak at 10 o'clock on Thursday night. Right now, the NBA Finals going on. Last time I checked, the Suns are up. So that's or the Suns were down by a point. Let's see what they're going. Ooh, they're up 49-41. Suns in 4. Let's go. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And that's really all I really want to mention. That want to mention last week's video as well. So there was a little bit of delay. I apologize. It was only like 2 hours, 3 hours maybe. I think we posted at like 8:30. The only reason why was that going on is because I went to the Yankee game. If you follow me on Twitter, I hope you do. It's still the same thing, Tully Broadcasting. You follow me on Twitter. It's fantastic. But yeah, pretty much. I went to the Yankee Mets game. Went to the first game of the Subway Series. Fucking Yankees lost. Sucks. 2-1, I think. So yeah, I went to that series and it was awful, especially because I was surrounded by just Met fans, and they were all this one dude. I mean, he would not stop talking about how the Yankees are shittier than the Mets. And I mean, I'll take my dad's opinion. Listen, I don't think we're that good, and we're not. But the fucking Mets aren't that good either. They at the time when I was watching the game, they had the same amount of wins as we did. It was 40. We had 41 wins. We had 41 wins. Now we had 39 losses. They had 36 losses. Again, this at the time. This was last Saturday. But I mean, me and my dad were like looking at the guy. And we're like, bro, you understand we have the same amount of fucking losses as you guys do, or the same amount of fucking wins as you guys do. So if we're trash, what does that make you? So I was surrounded by that, and that wasn't that fun. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So like I said, this video will be posted for Saturday night at 5:30, as it always is. And let's go on to big news. So the NHL. A couple of things in the NHL that I really want to talk about is the Stanley Cup. Stanley Cup is finally over. Saw that happening. 5-1. Tough. It's tough. 4-1 with the playoffs, with the NHL series. The Tampa Bay Lightning have officially beat the Habs, La Habitants, the Canadiens, Montreal. It's tough. I mean, I saw it happen. I think Montreal just doesn't. I mean, I don't know who's beating the Lightning. They're too good. Vaskilinski won the Conn Smith. He's too good. He's too good of a goalie. He's the best goalie in the world. They have Steven Stamkos, Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, Victor Hedman. Just all these guys are all studs. They have like all the best players on the ice at once. So I mean, it's tough. When Price couldn't win it, I was telling my buddy, they were like, "Oh, should we bet on them? Like they're such a crazy underdog." And like there's a reason why they're crazy underdogs, because they're just not that good compared to. I mean, they are a really good team. They're not as good as the Lightning. I mean, they're an absolute studs. You had to see this happening. It sucks. I didn't even watch it. I just knew it was gonna happen. I mean, it's not fun watching it if I know it's gonna happen. So I didn't watch it. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want to watch it. I knew it was going to happen. I knew who was going to win. I knew it was going to be Tampa Bay. And at the end of the day, that's just what happened. It was 4-1 the series. It wasn't a sweep. But one crazy thing I want to bring up. This was absolutely absurd. And I saw this on Twitter. So let me pull it up real quick. But there's a crazy correlation with Tom Brady. Let me see. I saw this on Ghetto Gronk on Instagram. He posted on this. He's really funny. But so from 1977, 79, 80, 81, 84, 88, 89, 89 again, and 1994, a San Francisco team where Tom Brady was living won something significant, like a Super Bowl or a World Series. So you have the Niners and the Raiders and the A's. They all won either Super Bowls or World Series. Then Tom Brady goes to Michigan in 95. So from 95 to 2001, somebody in the Detroit, Michigan area, something like that, won either we have the Stanley Cup or the conference championships or the national championship when he won it. And then you have Boston. So you have all the times that he won it. So 2001, 2003, 2004, 2004 again, 2007, 7, 8, 11, 13, 14, 16, 18, and 18. A Boston team, such as either the Patriots, the Red Sox, or the Celtics or Bruins, they all won something. They all won some kind of thing. And even when he was over there, if you remember the Red Sox, they broke the Great Bambino curse. So he broke the. I gotta give him credit there. The man broke the curse, and now this man goes to Tampa Bay, and he helps both the Lightning go back to back, and the Rays were in the World Series last year. That winning brings something. So I never hated Tom Brady, especially being a Giants fan, because that guy does nothing but give me all-time Super Bowl. So I never hated Tom Brady. And to all my fans that were rooting for the Eagles when it was the Eagles versus Patriots, I don't get how you could do that and be a Giants fan at the same time. I don't get how you could root for the Eagles. So that's that. I mean, that's really all I really want to say about the NHL, except now we're going to Jack Eichel news. So I did find some news about this. So supposedly, according to Jack Eichel's agent, he says that they've talked to a team and they're really close to kind of finishing up a deal. And I pray to God it's not the Rangers. If you watch me, you know I don't really want Jack Eichel. I know he's a fantastic player. No hate to Boston fans or Buffalo fans. I know he's a fantastic player, but he has too many injury concerns. He costs too much money, and what I have to give up for him is pretty much my entire team for one player. Kako Capo, you like Kako Capo? Out the window, gone. A first-round pick, you like that? You could throw away 3 of those. Another good veteran that we have on our team, and the veteran probably being like Buchnevich or something like that, out the window. So all those guys would have to go out the window just to get this one player. I don't think it's worth it. I think the team's too good. I like our chemistry. We've built this team. It's perfect. Let's leave it alone and let's let it continue to grow and build, especially because a lot of our players are ridiculously young. Artemi Panarin, pretty young. And Box is like 3 years older than me. Keandre Miller, I think, is like a year older than me. Excuse me, maybe 2. So these guys are all. I'm older than Kako. I'm the same age as Kako Capo, and I'm older than Lafreniere. So all these guys are super young. Let these guys grow. Let these guys build, and don't break this. We are going on a good projection. We have a good track. Leave it alone. I pray we don't freaking trade for Jack Eichel. But like I've said before, and like the Jack Eichel and his agent have said that they're going to keep a close eye on this, and they're going to try to trade before the expansion draft. They want to get it done before the expansion draft, which I believe happens July 21st. Don't quote me, but I believe that's when it happens. So they want to get this done quickly, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna happen. And I pray to God it's not to the Rangers. I pray to God it's like probably the Kings. I know the Coyotes mix themselves in there every once in a while. Who's another team I've been seeing? Mainly the Kings. I've been seeing a lot of the Kings. But that's really it. I hope he goes there. Again, great player, not what we need. Especially because the Kings need a piece. They need one more player, like one big time player. They don't have a big time player like we have in Artemi Panarin. They don't have guys like that. So they need that. We don't need that. So I say no, thank you. That's all I'm saying. All right. So that's really the NHL news as far as that. NFL, we're going to NFL real quick. So Nikhil Harry has requested a trade. And now, yes, Nikhil Harry has played like absolute dog shit his first 2 years, has been hot garbage. But you have to kind of think about it. And you kind of have to think, he's so hot garbage and he wants to trade so badly. He's probably super cheap. I was looking at it as a Giants fan. I know a lot of people, they were saying, like, why not trade for him before we even got Kenny Galladay? Why not? I don't think it's going to happen because I think the Giants really like to build to the draft now, especially with Judge at the helm. So I think they're going to want to build to the draft. They don't want to give up like a late round draft pick. But if I'm a Giants, I don't know, you throw something at, I don't know, you throw an offer at him. I wouldn't do more than the fourth. Wouldn't do more than the 4th round pick. Throw it at him. He's a first round talent. He's number 32 pick in overall draft, not even 2 years ago. Don't see it like it's crazy. Doesn't seem like it's crazy. I don't know. So that's pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. I'm looking to see if he goes to a different team and just kind of changes. That does happen sometimes with players is they go into something. Like, I know he started off pretty tough. I don't think he necessarily played well, or I think he might have got injured. Just he had a hard start. And I know like sometimes a lot of guys will like really help him out is if they go from a hard start and it's just like they stick there. If you stay there, you have a bad like connotation about the team. You have a bad like idea and feeling about the whole team, the whole environment that you're at, and just the whole area that you're in. And now all of a sudden, if you could switch to a different area and just restart, that's what I'm hoping we can do with John Ross. John Ross, he was the number 9th pick in the draft, good player. We're getting him for $1 million. So, he was a good player in college, super fast, speedster. So it's like, he needed, and he just had a tough start. I think he had some injuries too. He didn't have play that well. And you kind of get in this weird rut of like, I can't play well, I'm this, I'm that in Cincinnati. And just like he's going to hopefully get a new change of like scenery, and hopefully that can bring him somewhere. I feel like I thought I should bring that up because, I'm just interested, and I thought that'd be pretty interesting. You never know with the if the Giants want to get after it. I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, hopefully, I hope he does well, whatever new team he does go to. But yeah, I am interested to see if we even make a stab at it. I don't think we will. Like I said before, we have too many wide receivers now. But if we had like less than one, if we didn't get Tony or something like that, if we were down a receiver, I definitely would hope that we were the favorites on this team, on this trade. But now I don't think we are at all. So yeah, that's pretty much just the NFL. I mean, nothing big, like I said. Again, like this whole week has just been really boring. Like there really hasn't been anything going on. The finals are happening on right now. I mean, like so there was the NHL finals, and I didn't watch it. And then the NBA finals have been happening. I don't really watch them. Like I said, I had this job, so I wake up like at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. So I don't stay up late. And if I'm staying up late, it's to watch The Sopranos. It's not to watch fucking the NBA finals, which I really don't care about. Only thing I can say is Suns in 4. That's what I hope for. Love that guy. Suns in 4 guy. Great guy. But yeah, so I'm not even going to really talk about NBA because it really hasn't been anything going on in the NBA. What I will talk about, though, is UFC 264, and then we'll wrap it up with the Giants. I'll try to make this a shorter video. I've been talking to some people, and they said maybe make your videos a little shorter. I like the idea of like probably being like a new like part of my take or something like that, or what they do with a long video and you like listen to it on your way to work or so on. You listen to it like in bits and pieces like throughout your day. I like that because that's what I like to do. If you guys don't like that, again, leave the comments. Let me know. I'll make the videos shorter. I'll try to do my best. Sometimes I just don't shut up. So if you're like, hey, Pat, maybe you should shut up more often, I do that as well. But we'll go into UFC 264. And listen, I'm really looking forward to this fight card. This fight card is stacked. You have guys like, obviously, you have Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. That's the main event. I'm rooting for Conor. I might put money on Conor. I love Conor. I think he's a fantastic fighter. I loved his shit talking back in the day. I liked talking shit, and I thought he was really good at shit talking. Then you have Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. I'm probably gonna put money on Stephen Thompson. I think Stephen Thompson's an absolute stud. Although Gilbert Burns is also stud too. He had a pretty okay fight against Kamaru Usman. And if you have an okay fight against Kamaru Usman, that's a good fight. But I think Stephen Thompson's an absolute stud. A little bit older now, at 38, but so is Gilbert Burns at 34. He's probably just getting at the tail end of his prime. So that's something you have to wonder. Although Gilbert Burns is only 5'8" and Thompson's 6 foot, and he's 170 pounds at weigh-in, but that's gonna add. They're definitely gonna add weight. That frame's gonna add. So you never know with that. The Greg Hardy, I think Greg Hardy is a savage, bad guy, obviously a scumbag. But I don't know. Then there's the Sean O'Malley fight, which I'm really excited to watch as well. Versus Chris Moutinho. So before this, I was actually going to try to get my UFC expert that I bring on, a recurring guest, Kevin. I was going to bring him on, but he's actually busy right now in San Jose visiting his brother, so he can't really he can't be on YouTube right now. But hopefully, on Sunday or something like that, I can get him in person when I'm going to be back in the studio. Maybe I can get him in person, and we could do like an in-person fight analysis we did before. I think a lot of people like that, so hopefully we can get that going again. That was a lot of fun. I love doing that. But I'm rooting for, again, guys. I'm rooting for that. I'll probably be throwing money on. Sean O'Malley, Greg Hardy, Stephen Thompson, and Conor. I think I'll be throwing money on that. Another thing too, definitely to look for, and this is some insider stuff, but me and my cousin were looking at it. So this in the preliminary fight, there's Ryan Hall versus Ela Toprio. Or sorry again, I'm probably butchering the name. I really do apologize. But both of them, the under for this fight is at 2.5, and both of them for the majority of almost all their fights have been at first round decisions or first round knockouts or tap outs or something like that. So I'm looking for this fight to probably be done within the first or second round. I'm definitely gonna think about taking the under. To be totally honest with you. So yeah, that's pretty much all I really gotta say. Again, I don't know too much about the UFC. I usually just ask Kevin questions and he kind of takes the way with it. So I hope that he can come on. If he's listening to this right now, Kevin, I hope you can come on for Sunday or something like that. I don't know when you come back from San Jose, but I hope you can come back and we can do a live analysis of like what the fight was like and how the card was. It's gonna be stacked. I'm definitely watching it. Hope you guys enjoy. I was actually texting my friends when I visited them in New Jersey, and they were saying maybe we do a live fight reaction to the fight. I might go live. I don't know. It'd be my first time going live. That'd be a lot of fun, but I don't know. Probably not. We're probably not. It's just I think he's just bullshitting with me, but that would be interesting. I got the mic. Okay, so anyway, after that, now I'm gonna go into my last segment. I thought this was pretty interesting. So Alex Wilson, if you don't follow Alex Wilson on Twitter, he's a great follow on Twitter. He proposed the question: who is the top 3 defensive players in the Giants? I think I got that easy. Some guy commented back at me and he said I was wrong. He agreed with me on my first 2, but disagreed with me on my third one. So I'll go. But we're going to challenge ourselves, and I think the offensive side is a real challenge when you really think about it. Excuse me. So defense, I think is pretty easy. I think it's going to be James Bradbury number 1, clear number 1. He's a top 5 corner in the league, easy money. Then you have Leo Williams at number 2, and a close number 2 to be quite honest with you. He's another great player. But he's at number 2. So you have him. And now you go to number 3 is where it gets tricky. I'm going to say Adoree Jackson. But the guy made a good point. He hasn't played a snap against the Giants, so you never really know. I understand that. That's a pretty good point. That's a solid point, and it's something I can understand. But he is fire, and he's also probably our third highest paid player on the defensive side. So if you're not going to go him, I would also probably say Logan Ryan. The other guy said that it's more of an Alex Martinez, which is our linebacker. I don't disagree with that either. I think that's a good case. I like Logan Ryan just a tad more because of the leadership that Logan Ryan has displayed for us. His play is really good on the field, right? He's a good player on the field, but he's done so much more for us off the field by getting guys like Adoree Jackson, being a true leader, trying to show that team what it means to be a true like defensive secondary, calling guys like Jason Sehorn, Corey Webster, Antrell Roll, all legendary corners in the cornerbacks as defensive backs in the recent 20 years. I remember I grew up watching Corey Webster. I love Corey Webster. So that's that. I would say that's probably my defensive side. I would say it's probably James Bradbury, Leonard Williams, Adoree Jackson, and if my alternate for Adoree Jackson, or maybe my honorable mention for that top 3 would be Logan Ryan. So that's that. And it's nice when you think about it too, especially because our top 3 players, 2 of them are cornerbacks and one of them's a pass rusher. It's the recipe for success right there. I'll tell you that. This league, you see all the big time teams, all the teams that go into the Super Bowl, usually have a pretty stud defensive back, and a stud pass rusher. I think we have that. Definitely do. Now we'll go on the offensive side, which is a little tougher when you really sit there and think about it, because the first 2 I think are super easy. It's Saquon, then Kenny Golladay. That's Saquon's 1, Kenny Galladay's 2. Maybe you reverse it because Saquon really hasn't been able to play. But when Saquon played in 2018, he was the best running back in the league, hands down. Wasn't even an argument. 2019, he showed flashes. He was a stud. 2020, got hurt after the second game. Really looking forward to a huge 2021 season. So there's that. Saquon Barkley, best player on the offensive side. Kenny Golladay, second best player on the offensive side, and it's a close 2. It's a real close 2. So there's them. Now you go to number 3, and you're like, who the fuck is number 3? And I'm not gonna lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't feel comfortable with a comfortable answer. I feel like any answer I give is gonna be controversial. If we still had Kevin Zeitler, I'd say he's the easy number 3, but we don't. And our offense is too young and too many questions. Offensive line has too many question marks and it's too young for me to really even give you a real opinion on like who's our number 3 best player. I feel like maybe some people would say Sterling Shepard. I think you can mix him in there. Now, outsider Giants fans that don't really pay attention just go like, oh, it's an easy Evan Ingram. He went to the Pro Bowl last year. Wrong. He fucking blows. And that was a war crime to let that man become a Pro Bowl last year. Guys like Ryan Tanyan or something like that should have been in there. Not him. So, no, not Evan Ingram. Who would probably be my number 3? I can't even give one. I really can't. And I'm really sitting here and thinking, I guess maybe Danny. Well, I don't know. He's definitely the third. He's definitely I'm gonna be a Daniel lover. I know this is probably a little unprofessional. I probably should have this mapped up. But I genuinely was just sitting there thinking, like, I can't figure this out. I really don't know. So I think I'm gonna go on my Daniel bandwagon and say it's Danny. But again, and it's controversial, so I totally understand if you're gonna yell at me and say, "Oh fuck, no, it's Sterling Shepard," or "Oh fuck, no, it's Slayton," or it's Kadarius Toney, which I mean you can't even say. I don't even think it's fair to even say. So here's my thing: it's not fair to say Kadarius Toney because and this is what I was thinking. Not fair to say Kadarius Toney because he could be. He definitely has a potential, but it's not fair to say Kadarius Toney because he has generally not played a snap in the NFL. That's not fair. It's not fair to say Sterling Shepard because I don't even think he's. I think he's a little too old. So that's I don't. I just don't. Well, not too old, but I just don't think he's great. I think he's an average slot guy, which is really our number 3 guy. Slayton really digressed last year. He was very good his rookie year, but really digressed his the third year. This third year, or sorry, the second year. The second year he didn't play that well. So maybe he makes another big season. I don't know. But then the fourth, then you gotta look at the whole of the line. Oh my God, I fucked this up completely. Wow, I'm so sorry. No, okay, yeah. So I think our easy number 3 is probably Nick Gates. That's my final answer. Nick Gates. He's our best player by far. He's our 3rd best player by far. So that's pretty much it. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. So yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be Nick Gates. Nick Gates is definitely going to be our 3rd best player on our offense. So we have Kenny Galladay, or we have Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay, Nick Gates. Those are my top 3. I feel good about that. Top 3 on the defense: James Bradbury, Leonard Williams, and then Dory Jackson. And I feel good about that as well. So, all right, guys. Thank you for joining. Like I said before, this was a relatively quick, pretty quick video compared to my other videos. Nothing really happened in the news today, so yeah. I really hope you guys have been enjoying, and peace.